The final best of 3 today is about to go underway as we're going to find out if a Zerg or another Terran gets out of this first round, the round of 16 here in this week's GSL Code S. Innovation, our first survivor. Bomber, he's our first dyer, I guess.
He's our first dyer.
He's our first dyer.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about tie-dye t-shirts.
No. I'm not talking about people that make knots. Oh, no, I was thinking of tire.
Yeah, I got
to get out of here. You said tire.
I'm not talking about
start the cast over.
The thing that rolls with the car.
Right.
All right, so DRG versus TaeJa. Belshore Vestige first map.
Can I steal some of your hot 6, actually?
I will always give you hot 6.
All right, thanks. I meant to grab one of those, actually.
Yeah.
The break, but I forgot. That is the new diet one, right?
It's Hot 6 Light.
Hot 6 Light, okay.
Yeah. It's a lot better. It's not sweet.
Yeah, actually, when I taste it, I already like that better.
Yeah.
I'm not much of an energy drink guy.
I don't like sugary or sweet things that much, but I need my Hot 6 tastes.
All right, get ready to see who's going to move on, TaeJa or DRG. The winner goes on to the round of 8 in GSL Code S. In the bottom right, defeating Bomber but losing to Innovation, he is Liquid TaeJa. And in the upper left, same story, different order, he is MVP DongRaeGu. This is going to be a tough one. I actually am on the fence as far as who's going to win this. How about you?
Yeah, it's a very tough one. I'm going to go with DRG, though.
Okay. We are going to have what looks like a proxy Rax.
Yep. At least one. Definitely could be 2.
Yep.
It's going to be 2. Sending this thing at SCV now.
Now, that's an interesting move here from TaeJa.
Well, this is a pretty big map. How do you beat DRG with DRG's style in a long game here? And,
that is a good point. Is this drone, by the way, going to pass by the SCV?
Well, he's going to hit the watchtower, which is going to see one of the SCVs just barely. Yeah, and that is one clutch drone scout. Holy crap. So I'm going to go ahead and say once again, yeah, I do think DRG is
probably going to win this.
This is as bad news as you can possibly get for TaeJa.
Oh, man. Forced to cancel.
Yeah.
Pool goes down first.
And there's no one safer than DRG right now.
This actually should be fairly easy to play out from here.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to go ahead and just try to get that other SCV.
Good way to do it.
He will.
Great micro by DRG, actually.
Yeah. And is he going to get that before that bitch?
Not quite. Not quite. So TaeJa already has to be thinking, oh no, this is bad news. Because DRG is going to, without any damage, get into at least the mid-game. And that already is a little bit scary. Whereas TaeJa, this is not the build he had envisioned. His economy is already weaker than it should be. Of course, DRG's is slightly as well, as he had 2 drones out on the map to combat these SCVs, as well as the pool before the hatch. But it's not as bad news as it is for TaeJa.
All right, well, TaeJa's not dead right now, but I mean, this is definitely a big hiccup in the way that he wanted this game to go. And on top of that, as Artosis said, you know, the reason why he probably did this build to the 2 racks opening to begin with is because he realized he probably can't beat DRG on a big map like this. So, yeah, I'm with you, Artosis. DRG's probably going to win this, at least this first game.
Well, anything can still happen. We'll see what kind of backup plan TaeJa has here. There's a lot of different ways that you can play in this matchup as a Terran player to try to get ahead of someone, a Zerg player, through abnormal means. You know, there's all sorts of things like little stim timings. It looks like he's going immediately to 3 command center. I'm sure he'll go double gas after that because any time you go 2 barracks and it doesn't kill the Zerg, you are going to make 2 more commands and then 2 gas.
Wow, robot Artosis.
Yeah. I needed to
by the end
deliver
of this
that
game,
in a
I hope you
special
learned
way.
how to feel.
I can feel things you can't even imagine.
Yeah, whatever robot Artosis. Sounds like something a desperate robot would say.
A lonely
It's
robot.
not so bad being a robot. Listen, Someone decode insecurity in this robot. Jeez.
So, DRG, of course, knows that it is very, very likely that TaeJa's doing exactly what TaeJa's doing.
Yep.
So he can go ahead and drone without regret. You burn yourself?
Yeah, this thermos is hot.
Poor little guy.
That happens at least once a cast.
I just,
you know?
Yeah, it's too bad. We need to get you oven mitts to cast.
They do, yeah.
I think that'd be pretty helpful. So we do have 2 more Raxes and a factory coming up. Now, you might be going for like a Hellion Marine or even a Hellion Marauder type of push to try to catch up even a little bit more, maybe get ahead. That's always a possibility. Might just be going into macro play too. I mean, there's actually a pretty good range of stuff that you can do from here. DRG, in the meantime, throwing down that Roach Warren. Won't be surprised if he goes for Roach speed. You know, in a map this long, in a situation that's already occurred, and with what his Overlord sees, opening Roach would not be so terrible. I would actually kind of like it. Just get speed, get some Roaches, maybe Roach speed, and nothing is going to hurt DRG.
Yeah, you mean get Ling speed and get Roaches.
I mean both speeds.
Okay, okay.
Speed for everything. Get Overlord speed. Get Baneling speed. Get Queen speed. There's no Queen speed. I tricked you, Tasteless.
Yeah, man.
Fool.
I'm such a sucker. Well, let's see. He's got 5 Roaches on the way. Ling speed has started. Now, a lot of times when we see Roach Ling timings, they make a bunch of Roaches, and as the Roaches are about to hit the Terran's base, they make a bunch of Lings. The Roaches and Lings get there at about the same time, usually reinforced with the Zerglings since they get there faster. And there you go, guys. Now you know how Roach Ling attack works. Now you know.
Yeah. Well, he already has a bunker. A nice little wall in going on.
Yeah,
producing 4 Marines and a Marauder at a time. So he's not going to take any real damage from any attack. And in fact, it's just the Roaches walking down. He didn't even make that round of Lings behind it. So this will probably walk up, maximum kill a depot, and then retreat. And in fact, he just retreated. We didn't even show you because it was so inconsequential. There they are. See? They took a shot. They're like, oh, there's stuff in that bunker. Okay. But
And
he's really safe because of what he's chosen to do.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Looks like now the Marauders, Marines, and Hellions are coming up here now. Now the Roaches are more of a deterrent at this point in time. You know, it's the Hellions are just not going to be good against them. Scanning, he sees the layers on the way. And, you know, he's probably just going to try to take out some creep tumors here.
Yeah. There's
Maybe get that Queen, too.
You know, I don't think he can do much more than that. And I think he already knows that as well. I feel like he's zoning a little bit, like keeping DRG on his side of the map and trying to make him scared, trying to make him overmake units so his economy doesn't get too good. But, I mean, DRG is already looking pretty solid on drones with 61. He's making 7 more, so there's not much that TaeJa's move out is really accomplishing. In fact, his unit's a little bit out of position. Is going to slow down that area from being secured as he does kill an SCV and some Marines.
Well, the Hellions are going to move out now. Very passive game for the time being here. The 3rd Command Center lands. 1-1 for the Zerg is almost done.
1-1 for the Terran's almost done.
It's almost done as well. Talking like this.
Spire coming up.
So do you think DRG is going to stay on a layer tech here, Artosis?
For a little bit.
But you think he's going to do like his DRG style where it's just Mutas, Lings, Banelings?
For a while. I really do think so. And you can even see in his timings. Look at his 4th base and the Macro Hatch coming up. Same time. Spire. He's getting the 2-2. He'll start Baneling speed relatively soon. This is DRG for you. And it's super powerful even if they're even. And as we know, he already took kind of a small lead this game. So
yeah.
All he needs to do right now is concentrate on his creep pushing. I think that's the most important thing for DRG at the moment. Get more creep out. In fact, he's making 2 more Queens, and that's going to help him out both with injecting on his new hatches, but also getting some more creep tumors out, because he needs that spread to know where Terran is. Because as long as DRG can be in position, his macro is going to be almost overwhelming.
All right, stimming and coming in here now with the Hellions and the Marines and the Marauders, excuse me.
Well, that's
Link's not coming down, but he can actually just pick up if he wants to, and he will.
Yeah, he will end up getting a couple Marauders. The Marauders aren't super important.
No.
But he did get rid of some creep at least. A little bit of harassment here by DRG.
And he'll go ahead and fly back home.
14 mutas on the way. Now, let me check around what kind of defense he has against these mutas. It's not very much. And by not very much, not even 1 turret is what I mean. And with no turrets against 14 mutas, the first fly-in of DRG can be pretty amazing. But there is a Marine on this watchtower, and that's over the muta path. So, okay, he does take it out before mutas go. That's good.
Now the push is starting to commence. Note there's a supply difference here, about 145 to 169. The counterattacks are very possible. These mutas coming down here to what is a naked Terran base. No defense whatsoever. 3 barracks will be denied from being produced.
This is really terrible news for TaeJa. He's losing a lot of SCVs already. His Marines stimming and running back.
And he's actually going to just push right towards the Zerg's main. He's actually not turning around right now.
Yeah. He's just going to deal with it with the Marines he has at home, but this lowers the reinforcements out there, and this gives DRG time to possibly surround TaeJa if TaeJa overextends. But TaeJa just turned around. That was a perfect turnaround right there. He utilized that time where the mutas were out of position a little bit in his main base, even though that was a great position to be in. They weren't in a position to punish TaeJa for taking out a bunch of creep. So he took that out, he's moving back, and he's got to wait till he's maxed to make another move.
Now, Bailing speed has just now started. A little bit later than I would have expected. Nice, takes out that medevac. Now note, DRG is maxed out and is gaining a lot of capital right now, so he can replenish his maxed out army pretty easily.
That's right. Bailing speed a little bit late this game from DRG. Is that going to make a real difference? No, the Bailing speed actually will be done before TaeJa hits an attack. DRG, in the meantime, I mean, he's got to continue that creep spread. A lot of it was cleaned up, and he does need it connected a little bit through the center, I feel, so that he can get around as quickly as possible.
All right, looks like Zerg's ready to counter here. Waiting to see if the Terran's going to come into the main. He might even try to blindside him with these Banelings as they're trying to come over here and defend.
Yeah, he may.
Nope, backs up. Bailing speed, what about 4/5 stun right now?
I would say 5th, 6th.
5/6? Can't count.
Oh, well.
Now coming up towards the center. This will be taken out, no problem.
Yeah, that medevac.
Watch his needless APM as he might unload this. No, he doesn't actually. That's a sign of a good player.
Yeah,
Stuck out 2 Marines. Like, we'll get 1 shot off on a Mutalist. All right, now he's moving out here, going for the 4th, backing up. Nice kiting there against those Banelings. And no, not all of them killed off. But Lings coming in, we'll have to pick up and then regroup with the rest of the army.
And here we go. We actually have a lot of Lings and Banes coming up, but the tanks do siege. TaeJa's still at a pretty healthy supply count. But DRG leading by 24 right now. In fact, he does move forward. The Lings and Banes rolling forward. Mutalist coming up on the left-hand side. The Banelings actually not doing that great a job. That was some good control there by TaeJa.
All right, continuing trying to push forward here. I don't know, it is a 200 supply here for DRG. He's maxed out with a lot of money. 2.5K in minerals, 1.5K in gas against, I wouldn't say a starved TaeJa, but one that definitely does not have a heavy income. And he's not even maxed out. So if this push fails here for TaeJa, it's going to be really tough because Zerg does get a 5th base no matter what.
Yeah. And TaeJa, you know, he started his extra command center, but where will he even put it if he lives that long? You know, it's a tough choice. You try to take the left-hand side, or do you put it up behind this push? Probably behind the push, but DRG realizes TaeJa is focusing so heavily on this side of the map, he can actually run around and either counterattack or come up from behind TaeJa's army.
All right.
Definitely going to be a flank coming in. TaeJa says he has a lot of units up at the top as well. If he hits these at the same time, he should be able to crush this army.
All right, he's coming in and hitting hard. I don't believe there's enough Terran units.
God,
and this will be obliterated as he tries to get backed away, but it's into that corner. Now the medevacs are going to be hunted down 1 by 1. The Mutas a little bit faster now, picking them off each. And I got to say, that's going to be, I think, potentially the beginning of the end here for TaeJa. It's going to be really tough for him to recover. I think TaeJa's doing a great job splitting, but let's go back to the very beginning of this game where DRG simply had an edge because he spotted TaeJa's cheese. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that was too much damage. That was entirely too much damage. And we actually have the Greater Spire almost done. Chitinous Plating Ultras, Festers, 3/3, Adrenal Glands, and DRG's still on 4 bases. TaeJa has lost his entire army, and he's only got 1 Siege Tank and 2 medevacs right now. He has no long-term units. He has the long-term tech, but he's adding starports right now, which aren't going to be helpful at all against these ultras. So DRG has basically already taken this game. Now it's just cleanup time.
Well, not much else to say, really. Yeah, I mean, we're waiting for DRG to mass up this next attack. It looks like TaeJa's desperately going to try to take this expansion we have a shot of now, which roaches are hitting. Looks like there's another command center on the way over here to the, yep, right there. And that's going to be taken out as well. Zerg is maxed out. He will probably finish more of these banelings to get these other two Ultralisks out. And pretty much end the game.
Yep. Well,
can't touch this.
And down it goes. So DRG, he is going to swarm over TaeJa eventually here.
It's going to be like that, part of the swarm cutscene.
It's going to be
even though
TaeJa
like won't land the Viking against the Ultralisk.
I don't see a Minx statue. Actually, you probably will, Tasteless, because he has 4 Vikings in production. So he may as well land them because there's nothing else to be done.
All right, not the most organized attack, but will it really matter? I think not. More banelings down here now. Ultra's hitting as well. 130 supply to 93 as he's remaxing, as he's wiping out this army. Planetary remains here, but how much time was that going to buy Liquid TaeJa before we go into game number 2?
Yeah, we do have Marauders coming into production for TaeJa. So hold on, let's talk about this. If DRG plays this a bit like Nestea did the other day, there is a possibility that TaeJa could come back here. Unfortunately for TaeJa, he's about to lose this.
And Ultralisks are good.
Indeed.
With Bungo, they're even better.
Wow. Well,
112 supply to 193.
Yeah, those chances are quickly
TaeJa's
falling away.
pretty much dried up right now.
There's a countless amount of Ultras rallying in here. It's bungling down absolutely everything, and there's nothing left for TaeJa. There's nothing left for him here, Tasteless. It's time for him to go home to his home planet.
Yeah, well, in game number 2, I think TaeJa can't do this kind of opener like that, like he did in this game, you know?
No, I mean, well, this was a tough map. He needs to choose a map that he's going to feel a lot more comfortable on, a map that he can play his own style on. You know, if TaeJa chooses, you know, a smaller map, something he can control, then this could go either way. But with the opening DRG had, and, you know, TaeJa went into kind of heavy units from there, which couldn't do anything because DRG had more than enough. There was just really not much of a chance here this game. But DRG is looking so good that, I mean, you can't get behind in the early game. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, TaeJa still definitely has a chance to take the series, if not this game.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
we'll see what
comebacks can occur, but this game was it's kind of a textbook example of what happens if you tease and it gets caught. The guys with the same skill are better than you. It's really hard to recover. I mean, you got to either be really creative or, you know, hope you make some mistake.
Exactly. Those are basically the ways you can do it. And you know, even when you're being really creative, they make a mistake by not scouting and figuring out how to stop it. So
yeah,
they're always going to have to make some sort of mistake. But at this level, man, these guys don't make many mistakes. So the same thing can be said on the other side, though. TaeJa's a good enough player that if he can maybe get some early drone kills, or maybe DRG tries a cheese that doesn't work out, then TaeJa can do the same sort of thing to DRG.
All right, he's hitting hard now. And again, notice that because he's not maxed out, DRG is not maxed out. Sorry for my lack of specifics there. He's just making sure that, all right, I'm not going to attack until I know I can win. All right, he's going to make a little bit more here. Center location's the next place to acquire here.
Yep. Notice DRG not wasting anything. He could have attacked.
He's going to play safe. He's going to.
Yeah. He doesn't
absolutely not make any mistakes.
He doesn't want to have one of these games that we saw Sniper or Nestea where you know you're so far ahead, but you keep bleeding Ultralisks and eventually lose.
I like this. No, I don't like this Viking land. I thought it was going to be really cool. It's like, look, guys, he's going to get the Greater Spire, but no.
A lot of energy on those queens.
Yep.
Good upgrades too. By the way, it's past 10, so we actually here at GOM are giving out little snacks for everyone. Yeah, it looks like little
making
waffle
sure
bars
got
or something.
carbs so they have the energy to go to the next game.
Yeah, little waffle cookies.
Waffle cookies.
Yeah. Do you like waffle cookies?
No. Oh God.
I'm
actually not a waffle guy. No, I'm not a waffle guy.
Well, it's not. Wait. Like waffles with syrup you don't like?
I don't really care for waffles.
You like pancakes?
Pancakes are okay. Yeah.
Phony.
Really?
Same thing, different shape.
Yeah, and the shape is what ruins it for me, Artos.
Oh my god.
I am such a fat nerd. I need each little square to be filled up. How will I know if I get diabetes in time? Now, as you can see,
oh boy.
No, I prefer pancakes. So now, center right over here is not. It's like there's a command center floating there, but it's not really being taken. Bottom center actually, TaeJa seems to actually have control of. So I got to give some credit here to TaeJa because he's staying in this game and his supply is caught up.
Yeah, this can happen against this type of Ultralisk set of units. But still,
how many corruptors does he have? He has 3.
I do have to
5
say,
Broodlords.
I love the unit composition that TaeJa's going for. He's balancing his Vikings in, knowing that there are Broodlords about. So he has a solid army. TaeJa is being quite a resilient player here.
Well, I gotta say, TaeJa is the tenacious nerd we saw in the innovation games.
TaeJacious.
TaeJacious. TaeJacious T.
Yeah.
Well, with the Broodlords coming out here, we're gonna have to see if the Infestors can bungle the Vikings. Nice transfusions.
This composition for DRG is that we're literally watching an ST's composition run around the map, where nothing really covers each other.
Yeah.
That's the problem with it. Well, I mean,
now he can pick up a
you know what?
Yep.
This is turning into one of those games where we're like, well, this is pretty much over, but suddenly it's starting to look like TaeJa.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. It looks like he might actually. I think he's back in this game.
There's something with this composition where it's just like this doesn't do anything super well. What?
You mean the Zerg's composition, right?
Yeah. No CRG, by the way, is going over a full max.
Yep, he's at a 205 supply. If you're a newbie back home, you can make spine crawlers that make more Broodlords and cancel them. So,
this draw doing a great job here. You can take out that hatchery. That would be a big,
as you can see,
deal.
this army is not exactly mobile, and he actually gets that. That's a shocker.
Wow. Things starting to really not go DRG's way anymore. TaeJa has done a very good job here, but I want to talk about this unit composition a bit more, because if you're going like Ultra Broodlord, it looks cool and it's fun, until you hit someone who has a nice unit composition like what TaeJa has.
Yeah, the Marines, Marauders, Siege Tanks.
Because you actually, with Broodlords, you want more Broodlords and Corruptors and Queens and Infestors, but he doesn't have that. Instead, he has Ultralisks. So this is... wow.
What an epic comeback this is going to be from TaeJa. Don't forget, DRG's had more expansions for longer, so he will max out, or mine out, all of his bases soon.
Oh, for sure.
Way before TaeJa will. All right, here we go.
Here we go, indeed. We do have quite a lot of bungles available in here. Does start throwing them down. The Broodlords are cutting through this army, and those bungles being so important here, keeping those Marauders from kiting. And that actually leaves him with a lot of Ultras, rather.
And he has too many Vikings here. I mean, I guess he could land on those Vikings if he wanted to. Oh, another Ultra is doing so much damage here to these SCVs.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit rough because the Ultras are what he has to deal with. So, oh no, oh, this is brutal. Oh my god. Good thing that thing was so low. That thing.
All right, that thing. It's called a Viking Artosis. I know that was actually called an Ultralisk, excuse me. Sorry.
It's okay. He is making a lot more of these Marauders and Marines. Starting to kite back and kill off these Ultras. And you know, the thing is, DRG needs to go with one tech path or the other. You can't keep doing this. And when you have like 5 Ultras left, you don't just keep attacking necessarily. You do a little bit of damage in the area you're in and get out and reinforce.
Now notice it's 24 SCVs to 58. That's another factor here that's going to help out DRG because they're both pretty low on supply for this phase of the game. They can remax pretty easily. Well, DRG can. TaeJa cannot. And oh, that's not good. Boom, it goes down.
And look at this. He comes right up, starts picking off some more of these units. Brought the Corruptors along, and some of those do get picked off as well.
Continuing to go.
A funny chase scene. Well, goodbye, Corruptor.
All right, I'm still trying to figure out if actually TaeJa could still win this. I mean, let's take a look at the current capital the players have. Very low for everything with TaeJa. There's a lot of gas here, so I would be going Ling Baneling like we see DRG sort of in the middle of going for.
There are a lot of Vikings, so that's really important here. And look at that, beautifully done.
Oh!
Very, very, very well done with those Ravens. Being as cost efficient as you possibly can. A lot of this is coming down to cost efficiency. There are quite a few infestors here. And with those queens and corruptors, looks like he's going to be able to pull a lot of this down.
He can actually burn out these why am I still here? Point defense road, excuse me. And now he's going to regroup. Now it looks like TaeJa actually is going to take out this expansion, which is pretty huge.
Oh, he does save it for now. There's a lot of Banelings here, hitting a lot of things that they don't do a lot of damage to.
Yeah, now chasing these ultras back. The hatchery not at full health. Spreading out here. Now the infestors are coming over here. Another nice spread, though.
Yeah, these are some good bungles, but he doesn't have that many ultras left over. He needs some more units.
All right, he's going to regroup again. TaeJa on his last set of legs. DRG not in the best shape, but possibly good enough to end this.
He's got to be careful. These ultras are super low on health, and in fact, the infestors are very low on energy as well. So DRG can't just attack haphazardly here. And in fact, this is a bad place to morph Banelings that I'm watching, and we're actually watching that. But here you go. That's a bad place to morph Banelings.
Yeah. Well, the infested Terrans can try to gun down this command center. It will get away. TaeJa again, so tenacious, just hanging on right now. Long distance mining over here from the Terran's bottom right expansion. Anything that he can do to consume the rest of the resources, as Zerg cannot last forever at the rate that he's been mining throughout this game.
Well. All right, so let's take a look at the unit counts that we have. We have 3 medevacs of Viking, 2 tanks, 9 Marauders, 26 Marines. For Zerg, we have 21 Lings, 1 Ultra, 3 Broods, with 1 more morphing, 6 Banes, 15 Infestors, and 3 Queens. So the most important thing to take away from this is there's 15 Infestors out. The longer this goes, even though we have TaeJa mining pretty well from that left side base, those Infestors are going to gain more and more energy and be more and more effective. So this is a huge part of this.
All right, now notice the spread here for Terran is very nice. Oh, beautiful. Running ahead with the Marauders. Siege tanks covering the Marauders now as well. He's got to be careful with the Zerg here. Everything has to cover everything.
Yeah, and
same for the Terran.
This makes those tanks unsiege, and this is really good. So there, as they run forward, a fungal does go down. He's got to just pick off as much as he can here. Can DRG hold on? Some nice fungal growths.
Pretty good fungals. I don't see a lot of Lings, though.
No, there's not a lot at all, but the fungal growths are so strong, and with all the Broodlings and infested Terrans, he is starting to push him back even further. TaeJa's supply is plummeting.
Needs to get underneath those Broodlords. I don't know if he can. There's Corruptors popping out as well.
Well, it looks like this is almost ending. There's still Marines and Marauders being produced about 10 at a time, and that's very important. So he can come up, he can still take this somehow.
But there's so many fungals here. I think you could just, fungal alone, win this game.
It looks like it. Between that and the Broodlords that he has, some more Corruptors coming, more Broodlords being morphed. I think DRG has reclenched the game.
Really scrappy game, though, by both these guys. I love it.
At the end here, it really was. Definitely something for Zerg players to look at and say, wow, even in the GSL Codex, the best Zergs in the world, like ST and DRG, not really making Broodlord Ultra work out.
Yeah, again, it's a real balance thing. They're great units, but when you put them together, you don't have enough of either of them.
Yeah. You don't have enough of their support units or them themselves.
Now you did keep the planetary alive. Huh.
Yeah, that's true. And in fact, we do have an attack on DRG's last base right here. A couple spines doing an okay job of holding off for now.
I mean, if TaeJa wins this, I don't even know what I'm going to do, man.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed in DRG and really impressed and excited about TaeJa.
All right, looks like he barely saves that. Now, I don't think he's going to want to transfuse over there because he needs that for the Broodlords.
And
note that Terran's also taking the center right base, guys.
That's
you can evacuate these SCVs. In fact, it wouldn't even hurt to actually start repairing this. I guess he doesn't have enough minerals. Never mind, take it back.
Yeah, he's low. So now DRG, he's clamping in on him, basically. And here we go. The Marauders running forward, trying to pick off some infestors. They pick off 2.
Yeah, actually, that's a lot
pretty
of
good
damage.
for 4 damaged Marauders in a game that only has basically units that they're not good against left.
Okay, he's continuing to run away here. Now the center right base has been taken. Now note also the Zerg's gas is very low. Look how slowly it's going up. It's like there's one geyser being mined from. In fact, that might actually be the case. So, you know, the Broodlord army is going to have to either go towards the main or go towards the center right. And I got to say, this is another awesome game we're seeing here.
Yeah.
Because look, if the Zerg loses this little army here, it's really bad for the Zerg.
Yeah, if DRG loses this army, the game's over.
Yeah.
But this army seems unlosable against what he's facing. It's
Right.
basically pure Marine. 40 Marines, and then just one Marauder, 1 tank, 1
Now
Viking.
he's going to try to get him at this angle here. I don't know if this is going to be the easiest kill ever. Nice cleanup there.
He's going to have maximum 70 Marines when he attacks. I don't think 70 Marines is going to be enough against this with no other backup.
Yeah, trying to just take out these infestors with whatever he can.
Yep.
Now the building series is probably going to have to lip this before he does a surround.
Oh, look at this.
I think this is going to work.
If he gets a fungal off on this. It's all about how quickly he casts the fungals.
Yeah, it really is.
Really quick fungals equals 0 chance for TaeJa.
And he's bringing out CVs. Fungal.
Oh,
Nice.
that's a good fungal.
Nice another fungal.
Oh my. That's a lot of dead Marines. So, TaeJa is once again quite dead. Oh god.
But wow, look at that. TaeJa really put up a great fight considering. Now we're going to have this final tick. Okay, that's it. Now you actually cannot win. Just denied that right before they got their GG.
Well, that was a wild game.
That was pretty crazy because if TaeJa was dead, but then, man, he managed to stay alive no matter what.
Well, DRG was playing safe and nicely, but you know, you have to either remax with your Ultralisk army and move in and either lose them somewhat efficiently or kill your opponent, and then switch into Broodlord. You know, you can't go both, and we see these Zergs do it where they're like, well, I have all these Ultras, I don't want to waste them, which that's good thinking. But it's better to make like a really good Ultra-based army if you still have a bunch of Ultras left. Go around and kill a bunch of stuff, lose them, and then switch, rather than be like, well, now I have 4 Broods, 7 Ultras, 8 Banelings, 20 Zerglings, 2 Queens, and 2 Infestors with 3 Corruptors. It's like, what is that army? What does that kill?
Let's also point out that right now, you know, DRG is thinking to himself, damn, all right, I got to be careful against TaeJa. I had him, and he still managed to come back. In fact, there was a period where TaeJa almost killed off the last space of DRG's. DRG's slow-moving army almost couldn't defend. Thank God he had Lings.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, next map can be Daybreak. Not too surprised that TaeJa has chosen such a standard, solid map.
Yep.
Do you think that TaeJa can take this one?
I think it's totally possible.
It is possible.
I think this is a map that's good
I
for
think it's going to go
DRG,
game
but
3.
TaeJa's been playing incredible today. And I think it will go to game 3. I hope it does.
Well, the game is starting, Tasteless. We will see. Will TaeJa get out and make another Terran in the round of 8? Or will DRG beat him and show that he is the final boss, sir?
We're going to find out. Remember, the winner of this moves on to the round of 8. The loser is out of GSL Code S here at GOMTV.net.